this session, we're going to talk about proprioception, which is where the body is in space. This has to do with our physical body and physical sensation. And so proprioception is very important as far as our knowledge of what our body is doing and where it is and what it's feeling. So before we start, if you have a chair or a stool handy, that would be great. If you have a pool noodle, that would be fantastic. But if not, that's okay. A rolled up towel works just the same, okay? I highly recommend the use of a pool noodle. If you have a strap or a belt, even the belt from your house coat or something like that would be really good. It has to be long enough that you can tie it around your upper waist, okay? And if you have like a squash ball or something, a tennis ball, something like that. Again, if you don't have that, that's okay. You can still use a rolled up face cloth, something like that. Okay. So if you need to take a moment and pause the video, go ahead and grab those things, a towel or a noodle or something like it, a belt, the chair, and the ball. Okay. So proprioception is important because the brain needs to tell us how much leverage we need when we pick something up, how much reinforcement we need when we pick something up. The brain calculates in that fraction of a second how heavy this noodle is and how much effort I will need, as opposed to how much more effort it might be to pick up a chair or a heavy box. And having that knowledge and that understanding of where our body is important for many reasons. This is proprioception is something that unfortunately diminishes with age. And this is why you often hear of seniors falling, because they've lost the perception of the curb or a step or something like that. So we want to keep this as long as possible. Why it's good for us is because we want to be aware of what our body is doing, where it is, and what's happening with it, right? This also is something worth talking about. We'll do patterning at some point, but you might be walking around like this all the time with a shoulder up, or always bending a knee or something like this. And because it's a pattern and you do it all the time, you don't even notice. So it's worth taking a look in the mirror with clothes on and clothes off, actually. Clothes on because you may see something pulling in your fabric on one side but not the other, and that gives you a little clue as to what's happening. And clothes off just because you can see the real deal. So it's worth checking to see, do I always stand with my feet like this? For example, if this is your common standing position, chances are you're also locking the knees. And what this does is creates compression in the low back. So just for an example, why don't you do this? Stand with your feet in a V shape, even if it's not your normal stance. I want you to feel the difference. So stand in the V shape and kind of have your knees not locked hard, but not soft, okay? And feel what it feels like in your low back. Notice the sensation in your low back area. And now point your feet forward and soften the knees a little. I'm not talking about a bend. I'm just saying they're not locked in, okay? So a soft knee and the feet are forward. And now notice your low back here. Now, maybe you don't notice anything. Again, that's okay. But many people will notice that this angle of the hips and the femurs and the hip joints, and then the knees locking, creates compression in the low back. When we point forward, it opens up the back and the knees are soft. So everything is more open and spacious and flexible rather than rigid and compressed. So that's something to consider. So for proprioceptive play practice, we're going to sit in the chair, but we want to sit in the chair without looking. Now, if you have stability issues, if that's a challenge for you, then please don't do this without some other support, or do it against a wall or something where if you wobble, you can catch yourself, okay? And again, anything I suggest is a suggestion. If it doesn't feel safe for you, please do it in the way that does, okay? But for an example, this is proprioception. I know where my body is in relation to the chair. So I know I can sit down without looking. And many of us don't. We don't tend to look and then come down and take our time, right? We know where the chair is and we know we can sit down safely, right? We know what part of our body is going to land on the chair. We even know how it's going to feel sitting in the chair. And we know what it feels like to stand up again. So with your chair prop, again, if it's safe to do so, just kind of stand up and down. And if you don't look, that's better. If you need to look, that's okay. If there's arms on your chair and you need to hold one arm, that's okay, because that's still practicing proprioception. You're giving a little bit more information to your brain as far as here's where the chair is. But if you're not looking, you still are using your proprioception to kind of gauge where you need to bring your body down in order to sit on it in the proper way, right? So try that a few times, sitting down into the chair without looking, if that's okay. And then just as you're getting up and down from the chair, notice what else is happening with the rest of your body. When you get up from the chair, where do you feel the greatest sensation in your muscles? Which part of the body is kind of taking the most effort when you stand up? Is it your quads? Is it your back? Is it somewhere else? Is it your ankles? Where do you feel it? Where do you feel the effort in your body to stand up? And is it different when you sit down? Is there a different part of your body that's being utilized when you sit? All questions, all observations, right? Exploration. So let's get the ball or the face cloth, whatever you have, and place the ball under the foot, under a foot, pick whichever one you want to start with. And just begin to kind of sweep the ball or sweep the foot over the towel, if that's what you have. And just notice the sensation of that object under your foot, okay? If you have a ball that's kind of squishy enough, maybe you want to kind of rock onto it and press it down. And again, you're not looking to see where it is. You can feel it and your brain knows there's the ball or the towel. I know where it is. So what happens if you step away from the ball or the towel? Can you find it again without looking? Because your brain's calculating, okay, we left it here, we've stepped over here, I think it's here. So see if you can do a few of those where you step away and try not to look down and then step onto it. Now here's if you want to kick it up a notch, do this with your eyes closed. So you could feel it under your foot, you could close your eyes, and even just feeling it under your foot with your eyes closed is a different experience again. But then taking the foot away, and then with the eyes closed, finding the ball again. And I found it. That's good. It's okay if you don't. Maybe the ball rolls away. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect science. Let's do the other foot though, because of course it wants some attention. So again, you can sweep or you can step onto. Now let's see if it's the same, if you have the same sensory perception on the other side, right? So just stand, you can step away from the ball and see if you can stand back on it again. And is it more challenging to find it on, say, your less dominant foot? That might be something worth exploring too. So step away and then step on. And again, notice the sensation of whatever the object is under your foot, that pressure against your foot. We're bringing our attention into a place that doesn't often get a lot of attention unless there's something wrong, right? our shoes are tight or something like that. All of this is forcing us to be present, right? We can't do these things while thinking out there. Maybe we can with this. Maybe I could rock on here and get lost in my thoughts, and that's okay. But if we're truly trying to be practicing our proprioception, then we are present. So let's put the ball away. Now we can bring in the noodle or the folded towel, whatever you've got. If you can roll it into like a tube, that would be perfect. And same thing, the towel or the noodle or whatever you have, put it across in front of you. And without looking down, step forward and then step onto it with both feet and then step over it. And then back up, go the opposite direction and come back to where you started. Maybe step back one extra step. So now you have a few steps before you get to the towel or the noodle or the object. So again, without looking, just take a few little steps and then step on and step off. And maybe an extra step here too. And then back up. And back. Plus, this is novel play for the brain. I'm going to assume that you don't do this every day. And therefore, because it's new, the brain really likes to get interested in it. We are on autopilot for so much of our actions, thoughts, our life. And when we do something new that the brain can't do autopilot because we're doing something that's totally, completely different than what we've done every day, it has to come into focus and pay attention and put more energy into it. So novel is good. Just like changing the hand that you open the door or pour the jug of water. Okay. And now stand on the noodle or the towel, whatever you have, with both feet. And just stand. Now, depending on what you have, it might be a little bit of a unstable surface too. That's great. That's okay. If it's comfortable for you, try closing your eyes here and just notice how you feel and see if it feels difficult to tell where your body is or not, or if it feels a little bit scarier when you close your eyes or a little less stable. So close your eyes with your feet on the object. See how that feels. And then step off of it with your eyes, open your eyes, and then step off of it. And then close your eyes again, just standing on the floor, and notice the difference in how that feels when you're on an unstable or unusual surface to the surface that you know. Okay, and our last one, this, take the belt and we're gonna tie it. I want you to tie it around the kind of the base of your lower ribs. So you should feel it when you inhale. You should feel it pressing back into you. So there's like a counter tension. So don't make it tight. I want you to be able to breathe, but make it tight enough that when you inhale, you can feel a little bit of a challenge to open up your ribs. Okay. So it's just at the base of your kind of like above your pants lines for sure. And if you're a woman, it's kind of around the bra band area. Okay. Okay. So first, feel that difference in tension or tightness or something around you that maybe you're not used to it. And then take a breath, take an inhale and exhale. And just notice, this kind of gives you the feedback about how big your lungs are opening, what your lungs or your ribs are doing, and where your breath is. So see if you can, if you're a shallow breather and it's not moving this at all, see if you can make it a game and try to press into the band or the belt or whatever you have. See if you can take it down a little lower, not belly, into this area, okay? does that change how you feel about your breath, or does that change your awareness of your breath? We don't, again, it's another thing that we don't pay attention to because thankfully that is on autopilot. We definitely want that on autopilot. What we don't want on autopilot is always breathing shallowly. So taking it to here and bringing the attention a little lower, hopefully that allows you to expand into a little bit of a bigger breath, but also to notice, where does your breath go right now? How deep is it at this time? And also just feeling the ribs as they expand and contract. That's maybe something new or something that we don't take a lot of time to pay attention to. So I hope that these little practices helped you not only get a little glimpse of where your body is and what it's doing, and some juiciness for your brain to do something new. So it's play for the brain, but also this ability to practice some very focused attention and awareness of your body. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next module.